The first part of the highly anticipated fourth chapter of the Netflix series premiered on May 27th to acclaim from audiences. It garnered a huge reaction and continued Stranger Things' ratings success streak despite its lengthy runtimes. This has caused the new season to be split into 2 volumes, the second of which contains the final 2 episodes of the season and releases July 1st. Here are all the latest on the film. Kicking us off, How Stranger Things Season 4 sets the stage for Nancy and Steve to get back together. Season 4 of Stranger Things debuted on Netflix Friday, and it brought lots of changes for our Hawkins crew, particularly in the love department. As the season begins, we learn that Max and Lucas have broken up. Steve is still single and really ready to mingle. Robin's got a new crush on another girl in the band, and Dustin and Susie are still going steady long distance, as are Nancy and Jonathan. As the season progresses, though, the show continuously hints at an opening for Nancy and Steve to get back together. Remember, Nancy broke up with Steve way back in Season 2 and has been with Jonathan pretty much since. Although they both initially put on a brave face to their friends, it becomes clear that not all is well for Nancy and Jonathan, who have grown apart with the long distance and life changes. Jonathan doesn't want to go to the same college as Nancy, as the two have talked about, and though at first she denies it, she's miffed that he didn't travel to Hawkins to see her over the school break. To add insult to injury, while Jonathan, his friend Argyle, Eduardo Franco, Will, Mike, and Eleven are all the way across the country, Nancy and her former beau and his glorious head of hair are forced to work alongside each other all season in Hawkins. The hints that they might get back together are everywhere, from Robin strongly insisting to Nancy that she and Steve are platonic, with a capital P, friends, and hinting that they should maybe give their romance another shot, to series newcomer Eddie Munson, Joe Quinn, telling Steve in the Upside Down about how Nancy was the first to dive into the dark waters to save him. The two never actually kiss or confess any feelings to each other in the 7 episodes of Season 4 released so far, but the sparks are flying. Next, why Vecna waited 7 years to start killing again. Vecna took a 7-year hiatus from killing before Stranger Things Season 4, with this time frame seeing him trapped in the Upside Down. Vecna isn't the first Upside Down villain to murder teenagers in Hawkins, but he's surely the most terrifying. Unlike the Mind Flayer and Demogorgons, Vecna is actually human and not necessarily a product of the Upside Down, as Henry Creel #1 was banished by Eleven to the dimension in September 1979 after he massacred everyone at Hawkins' lab. While the Duffer Brothers revealed that they had planned on Vecna being the major villain since the beginning of Stranger Things, the Hawkins characters had to contend with many other Upside-Down foes first. Beginning with Chrissy Cunningham, Vecna has taken the lives of 3 teens so far, with Max and Nancy now also being subject to his curse. Since Vecna's wrath appears to be far more brutal than that of the Mind Flayer, it was curious that he wouldn't personally kill any characters during the 7-year timeline that he was trapped in the Upside Down. Unlike the Demogorgons, Vecna doesn't have to leave the Upside Down to murder his victims, as he torments them through their minds. It seems that the reason why Vecna hasn't killed for the 7 years after the Hawkins Lab massacre was because he was waiting to become more powerful as the Mind Flayer and Demogorgons took more victims, as he was likely weakened after being thrown into the dimension. When #1 revealed his true identity to Eleven in Stranger Things Season 4 flashbacks, he explained that he became more and more powerful with each victim he took. While Henry Creel had taken over a dozen victims during the Hawkins Lab massacre, his fall into the Upside Down depicted him being struck with lightning and slowly morphing into the Upside Down's Vecna, hinting that it would take time before he could once again reach the height of his power. How is Vecna connected to the Mind Flayer? Vecna and the Mind Flayer in Stranger Things clearly seem to share a connection, but how connected are they? The Upside Down is an alternate dimension in which both Vecna and the Mind Flayer reside, with the latter existing as a large, overarching presence and the former living in the alternate Creel mansion. Throughout the Upside Down are tendrils, vines, and creatures that serve as a hive brain for the Mind Flayer. Being connected to the hive brain through a spider-like network of back extensions, Vecna is the most humanoid monster in Stranger Things. Interestingly, he also has the power to open small gates to the Upside Down wherever he makes a kill. This discovery leads to Dustin, Gaten Matarazzo, theorizing that Vecna is the Mind Flayer's 5-star general compared to the foot soldier Demogorgon. As powerful as Stranger Things' Mind Flayer is, his ability is primarily in masterfully taking advantage of his many resources and not opening gates. Vecna, however, can perhaps open gates to the Upside Down because of his connection to the right side up. Out of all the known Upside Down creatures, even the Demogorgon being held extensively at Kamchatka, Vecna is the only one who has had any significant time in both dimensions. This fact, coupled with his psychic abilities, makes Vecna a terrific asset for the Mind Flayer. Assuming that the monster isn't working working on his own agenda. It makes equal sense for Vecna and the Mind Flayer to be allies. The year before, Joyce, Winona Ryder, destroyed the massive Soviet gate. As a response, the Mind Flayer could have resorted to Vecna as a way to be more covert and create multiple miniature gates. The Mind Flayer is well connected in the Upside Down. For him to not be connected to Vecna would be unrealistic, but details about their connection remain speculative. Moving on, Stranger Things Season 4 Part 2 is Mad Symphony of Chaos tease creators. The Duffer Brothers tease that Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 will be a Mad Symphony of Chaos. Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1 managed to not only meet the expectations of viewers, but exceed them. The fourth chapter is jam-packed with action, emotion, and character depth. With every character at risk, the stakes are higher than ever for the Hawkins crew. The three main storylines, following the teens in Hawkins, the teens in California, and the adults in Russia, transition seamlessly as they ebb and flow to bring all their pieces together into one cohesive story. Stranger Things Season 4 has so far been ambitious, but it's brought together the clues that were there all along in the past 3 seasons, setting up an epic finale in the last 2 episodes of the season. Now, Stranger Things creators Matt and Ross Duffer share some of their own thoughts on Season 4 Volume 2. In an interview with TV Line, they provide glimpses into what audiences can expect from the 2-part finale. Matt uses the words emotional along with action and spectacle to describe Volume 2, and goes on to borrow a quote from Eddie Munson actor Joe Quinn, who coined the idea of a mad symphony of chaos. Despite this emphasis on action, the Duffer Brothers make sure to clarify that the focus remains on their beloved characters. Only a few weeks remain until Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2, where true chaos and madness await. Finally, explosive Stranger Things theory reveals Eleven's real father. The identity of Eleven's, Millie Bobby Brown, father may always be up for speculation, but one mind-blowing Stranger Things theory suggests a potential answer. Potential candidates for Eleven's father, like Dr. Brenner, Matthew Modine, carry reasonable evidence, but nothing's confirmed. Stranger Things Season 2 revealed that Eleven's biological mother was a woman named Terry Ives, Amy Mullins, who began to take part in MK Ultra in 1969. Eleven was born in 1971, meaning that Ives was pregnant with her while she was still involved with MK Ultra. The Stranger Things prequel novel, Suspicious Minds, reveals that Eleven's father is a man named Andrew Rich, who was dating Ives during her time with MK Ultra until his death fighting in the Vietnam War. With that said, the novels sometimes contradict the show, rendering their status in canon questionable at best. In the meantime, Stranger Things itself never sets up an official answer. However, one theory, via Reddit, proposes a wild yet strangely plausible answer to who Eleven's father is. After Dr. Brenner took him in for a long-term experimentation, Henry Creel became number 1, Jamie Campbell Bower, and eventually Vecna, Stranger Things' powerful Season 4 villain. The theory suggests that Dr. Brenner created his subsequent test subjects by actually using number 1 semen, who at the time of at least Eleven's birth would have been of age. If this theory were true, then one's connection with Eleven is much stronger than believed and makes Stranger Things moments like the Hawkins Lab massacre much more sinister. Well, do you think it is possible? Let us know in the comments below. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the time we had for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers!